Nipati kutuko na record ಮಾಡ್ತಾನೆ. Don't make any sounds. Okay. Om Shri Gurubhyo Paramagurubhyo Srimadananda Bhagavad-Padacharyo Namo Namah. Narayana Paripurna Gunarnavaya Visvodaya Stititolaya Niyadiprataya Jnana Prataya Vibhuda Sura Saukya Dukkha Satkaranaya Vidadaya Namo Namaste. Yo Vipralimba Vipritamadi Prabodhan Vadan Rasakratavan Vividatvatam Sarvesvaro Haririti Pratipatakam Tam Anandatirtha Munivarim Namami Ujjaya Raghavendraya Satyadharmarataya Cha Pajatam Kalpavrakshaya Namatam Kamadhenave Sahana Vavatu Sahana Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadidamastu ma Vishvidavahai Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Welcome friends, and we are again into the Kathopanishad. Last week we couldn't continue our journey because of the glitches. சொல்லுங்க. நான் பார்த்துக்கிறேன். Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Are you able to hear Prabhu?
Yeah, I'm hearing, and my voice is audible.
Why voice is audible?
Yeah, your voice is audible, clear, very clear.
Okay. I'm also able to hear you. No problem.
Okay, fine. Okay.
So we are into the second adhyaya of the second chapter, where we have seen, how this entire body is resident, because of the self or Atman, Paramatman, or whatever it is. It is a 11-gated city. He is the king of the entire 11-gated city, or he is the ruler of the 7-gated city and 11-gated city. And all the 11 gates are making of all our karmendriyas, jnanendriyas, and over and above that, because it is also add to our nabi and sahasrara taken. We had only seen nayandwara. Earlier we have seen ekadasam, navadvaram we have seen. Then in Mandukya Ekonavimshati Sataha. Now that we have seen, it is 19 instruments. We said 19 instruments where Pranendriyas, Karmendriyas, as well as Jnanendriyas, plus Chitta Mana. Taking together, it was the 19 that we have seen there. Chitta Mana, Buddhi, Ahankara. Taking everything together in Mandukya Upanishad, we have seen 19. In one of the scriptures, it is being said 17, because Mana, Buddhi, Chitta, Mana, Buddhi, Ahankara has been taken into the Chitta and Ahankara only as the two. Whereas in this particular Upanishad, they have taken Ekadashadvaram. Ekadashadvaram is two orifices of the nose, 2 eyes, 2 ears, and 1 mouth. That is 7. And again, Nabi is 8. And then your excreta and the progeniting together it is 9. Then it is Sahasrara and Nabi. Taken together it is 11. Why they have said this 11 is, this is the one that is controlling the entire prana, controls every day in your body, irrespective of the fact whether you are acting or whether you are dreaming or whether you are sleeping. This has been specifically brought about because this particular adhyaya is going to talk about the most important aspect of our body, that is breathing. The breathing is the prana. The prana, what is called the vayu in normal terms to qualitatively represent it, but the prana has got much more bigger connotation, because in Vedas sometimes they refer to even the Brahman as the prana. The prana, if you see etymologically seen, it is also referred to the Brahman. But the prana here is the one, which is executing selflessly into everyone. See, whether you like it or not, have you ever given an attention to your breath? But it has given attention to you every day, right from the day you come into this world till the last day. It is going to be active. And that is why, because, and we have defined the 5 functions of the prana in our scriptures, which we every day recite when we do our Sandhya Vandanam or Swadhyaya, because we are also invoking them. That is prana, apana, vyana, udana and samana. Prana, apana is the one, which is very important one, which has been referred to, but the udana, samana and all, they are all being taken for as a part of the apana and prana only. Vyana, samana, udana, apana, everything together. Prana, apana is the one majorly referred to. The prana is the one which is taking care of all the elevation of the soul, and the whatever the wisdom you are likely to get into this world, that is being represented by the prana. The apana, which encompasses vyana, udana and samana, they are all the one which is taking care of the strength of the body. How it is taking care of the strength of the body? It is taking care of the strength of the body, because but apana, when it gets inside, into your downwards movement, it is there. It is sending in the entire energy to your guts, pancreas and all other chakras to enable them to get into the highest form of creating the respective enzymes. What we call pancreas creates the insulin, as well as your
Brindavan
hello,
ಹುಡುಗಿನ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬಿಡು ತಾನೆ.
are you able to hear Prabhuda?
Yeah,
Yeah. See,
yes, sir. I'm
yeah.
able.
So it creates the strength, and then not only that, it sends the energy, it purifies, and it also helps replacing all the dead cells. The lot of cells are getting in because they have got their own sort of a their lifetime, in the body. Every day, more than 6 million cells or 6 million bacteria are getting died and created. Our gut has to have necessary bacteria. The bacteria are a must for us to sort of create the enzyme and digest. The digestive activity has to be taken care of, and the detox activity will have to be taken care of. Then only, because this entire toxic can be taken, extracted out of the body, and then you will be able to get the new energy, and the energy can be distributed to all part of the body, including your heart, brain, eyes, ears, everything and all. And your ability to speak also come from that. This Ekadasha Dwaram is so important in this, because it finally takes us to know the selfless aspect of one power which keeps us going, that is called prana. That prana has been extolled in all the Upanishad, particularly in next Upanishad, which we are likely to get, Satprashna Upanishad, otherwise known as Prashna Upanishad. And it is also extolled in Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. It has also been referred to in Chandogya Upanishad. And we have also seen a reference in our Isavasya Upanishad when we have taken, because the mantra number 14, 15 of Isavasya Upanishad, there also it is highlighted. Why prana is so important in anyone's life? We know that. Because if the prana is the one which is give the life force, as far as we are concerned, we are able to see the life force as long as the breath is there. When the breath is not there, the body is a cadaver. It will all be the flesh, and the bones, will be decaying. It is of no use. No one will keep the body, because if the prana goes off. So prana has got such an important function to perform, to keep you awake in this world, Jagrata Sthana. And then, because when it is in the Jagrata Sthana, naturally you get into the cycle of Swapna Sthana and Sushupta Sthana, so that you get into the cycle of re-energizing yourself every night. When you are in a deep sleep, who is taking care of your body? It is the breath. You are not aware of it, but it is taking care of it. It creates the melamine and it regenerates the entire cells. It rather refreshes and rejuvenates, all parts of the body. Next morning when you get up, you are so refreshed. You feel that I had a good sleep, because that made me to refresh, and I am going to have the day, very good day, and where I am going to do all the activities. So this is exactly, the prana's importance. It has been said, but it has been brought out in a way how selfless devotion is possible for any being in this world. Selfless devotion, prana is working selflessly in everyone's body, whether you are a professor, whether you are a rogue, or whether you are a president of a country, or you are someone, because who is engaged in wild activities, or you are the one, who doesn't do anything, and you are only you see, sort of indulging in all sorts of nefarious activities, doesn't matter. But once the body has been ordained to be here, once you have come based on your deserving eligibility to experience this world based on your all your sort of a control and command and that has been given to you by the life power, it is the who once enables you to get it based on what you require and what you want. But you have got an opportunity to get it to the highest mode. He is there always to help you. He gives you the energy. Energy is an electricity. It is coming into our house. If you are using it in the for the purposes of heating, some element, it will heat you. And if you are using it for ironing, it will be getting into the iron. And if you are using it in the refrigerator, it keeps everything cool. If you want to read something and do something, it gives you the light. The energy is same. Depending upon the instrument is able to reflect and give it up. We are all like instruments. We have been brought into this world. The instruments are prepared by our own deserving capacity, which we have accumulated all the earlier years. That is why there is only one Einstein. We didn't have too many Einsteins because he got that the instrument of Einstein, because his chitta, mana, and buddhi, hankara is of a different type. He is able to do it to our capacity, to our capability, and to our eligibility. Whatever we can do with the help of the prana. That is why the prana has been given into this. If that is the case, the question may arise: is it prana so important? There is a small story before we go about into the mantras, which is a third mantra, which we are supposed to see, third and fourth mantra in particular. There is a Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, there is a story. In Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, it all happened, because when everyone was telling, look, this we are all into this human beings, because we are trying to make them work and get the experience. Who is superior? The eyes thought, I am more superior, because I made him see, and eyes are supposed to be having the devatas of sun and the moon, Surya and Chandra, because they are supposed to be giving the energy to the eyes in our Shastras. And ears are the one, which is why this is Varuna, who gives the energy to listen, all the waves, because that is being captured. And the knowledge is being important into your mind. That is why this is ears. And the Vayu is the, Varuna is the god of that. And then you are able to breathe. Prana is the one, which is able to get the breathing and gets the energy and detoxifies you every day. And then, because it comes the another most important aspect of it, Agni is the giving in the energy to speak, energy to taste, everything it does. When it does with so fine, because someone when like the speaker like Vajpayee speaks, he can mesmerize us the entire crowd. That is the power of Agni. Agni is same, but the quality of the flame that comes depends upon the instrument in which it is being manifested. So that is where exactly happens, because we are all an instrument of a different kind. We have got a different capability. But still then, because unless we have all these deities in us, we will not be able to do. So they wanted to have sort of a one particular, because they wanted to see who is superior and all. Then they said, let's not fight, let us go and ask the Prajapati. Prajapati is the one who is creator, like Brahman. The Brahman is the creator. Prajapati is the one, who is, from the Prakriti, the all the five elements is, we have all been brought into this world. So they went and asked him, because who is this? This is coming in Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. So when it was asked, he said, I said, because certainly it is. And then he appreciated everyone's, claim, and he said, You do one thing. You just be keep away from the body for some time. You see, what happens. So whether the body is able to, or whether the person, in whom you are there, is it able to function? They agreed. The eyes suddenly, because they went out of the body, and because the power of the eye went out of the body, the body became blind. But still, he was then, he was able to find a way to do the things. And when it happened, then, Prajapati, perhaps, he produced Helen Keller, who was blind, but she brought the entire wisdom to the world. She is Helen Keller. Likewise, and then, yes, then it was very happy. Look, because I am not there, they are not able to do anything. Finally, the Helen Keller, because she brought it, and there is one Braille. He created a language in which the blind people can communicate. It has become order of the day. Braille has become so sort of a universal everywhere. Without Braille has to be there, as a part of every manual or every instrument, every guidance. So therefore, because that is happening, there is an antidote for that. And when a man is not able to hear, he was not able to hear anything and all. Then the hearing aids came, and then lot of other instruments came. Of course, now the mobiles are being connected to the hearing aids straight away. You don't have to have one more intermediary to connect yourself, because that is also. But of course, the Varuna was happy. Look, because I am not there, because they are not able to hear, and certainly the deficiency has been felt. Because it's not that it has not been. And then Agni also said, because let me go out of that, because and the man couldn't speak. He's a dumb. But then the sign language came. Then because they were able to do with all the sign language, they were able to sign. Sometimes sign language is more profound, more sort of esoteric, because you will be able to communicate more effectively than, even with the words. Because sometimes words fail you, but the sign doesn't fail. Because, this is what exactly has been found out in Indonesian rainforest. The all those monkeys, who are being brought in the Indonesian rainforest, they have got a special capacity. They have got 50 sign languages. With the 50 sign languages, their communication is more eloquent. And that's what, when scientists has found, and all that, 50 sign languages are good enough to communicate anything to anyone. You don't need to have a language. No, unless I know French, I will not be able to communicate in Paris. Unless I don't know Hindi, because I will not be able to interact with people in Delhi, or, because any other part of India. If I don't know Portuguese, then I will not be able to go to Portugal. But with the sign languages, I can survive anywhere, because now people have been trained, because there are special people, at least interpreters are there. They can do that. But when prana flow goes, the entire body is defunct. None of them can have any occasion to function. So once that has happened, then they said, because they all requested prana, please don't leave. Unless you are there, we will not be able to function. It is like electricity. Unless the electricity is there, heater will not work, refrigerator will not work, or because any other water cooler, your water purification will not work. Then you need the basic energy into it. That basic energy, whether you want to call it consciousness or anything else, that is the one finally that is required. If that is the case, if prana is superior, is it that, because if prana goes, the body becomes cadaver? Is it superior? That is now, this is what is being explored in this particular Upanishad and in this particular mantras. We have recited Urdhvam Pranam Unyati Unnayati Apanam Pratyagashyati. Urdhvam Pranam. Pranam is going up. It is just elevating the soul, elevating everything, in the sense it has got a figurative as well as it has got the simplistic meaning. Both are there. It is a figurative and a sort of a empirical meaning. Both are there. When the pranam goes up, because it gives the essence of oxygen into the lungs, distributes in there, and then when it goes up, it detoxifies and takes it. And when it goes up, the energy distribution takes place into the most important part of your heart and the brain, it takes. And heart has also got, because the very important functions, unless the Your thoughts and feelings combined together, you will not be able to walk. If you don't have a feelings, only thoughts are there, because your action will be inadequate. If you have emotions but you don't have thoughts, because you will be sort of a Alzheimer's, you will not be able to remember anything and all. You need the power of the thoughts and power of the emotion, both will have to. So the prana gives you the entire, the higher point, higher element of the entire soul. That is the wisdom that comes in. Pratyak asyati. And because apanam pratyak asyati, he throw apana downwards. Why he throw downwards? He has to detoxify as well as give energy, and recreation of the cell will have to take place with the energy distribution to the respective bodies. Because the person should be hale and hearty, because he should have proper insulin sort of a depositor and proper thyroid, because that entire has to be functioning, because then he has to have all digestive, and the bacteria will have to be there. His kidney has to function. All those things, and because and all the chakras will have to, because these are all the sort of a switches to the chakras. The switches to the mechanism by which it operates is through the prana. The prana is the one which takes care of, and then it distributes the energy to the eyes, the ears, the mouth. After giving to the brain and all, it comes through whole body. And then you are kept under the blood pressure of 120 by 80 and the temperature of 98.4 degrees Celsius, so that you are able to function in this body. And you are able to do whatever you want. If one of them are deficient, you will not be able to. You will be sick. So it takes care of that. But have you given any sort of attention to that? That is what it. Madhye Vamanam Asinam. Because the how it creates. Is it that prana is that which is already doing? Madhye Vamanam Asinam, in the sense there is Vamanam in the Vama is in Sanskrit the beauty, the ultimate, the paragon of beauty, the one who is so beautiful and the essence of everything. Asitam. He is inside, he is in the lotus petals in our heart, as described in this text. Padmakosham Madhomukam is there in the middle of it. As Narayana Upanishad says, he's inside the middle of it. He's Vamanam. That is why, because Madhvacharya, because in his invocation of this particular Upanishad, he said, the Devata for this Upanishad is Vamana. Vamana is the one who's giving the life energy. But he is all pervading. He is without and within. He is not only into this body as a Vamana, his Vamana is so beauteous, but still, because he is invisible. He is invisible in the body. He creates, he gives the energy. The same thing has been brought out in Isavasya Upanishad. Vayur anilam atetam basmantam sariram. Vayur anilam. Vayu is having the residence of the Brahman in that. That is like a Vamanam, what is referred to. He is the one who gives the power. And then based on that power, because prana is able to function. But how prana functions? He doesn't see the time. He doesn't see the clock. He doesn't see the person. He doesn't see whom he is giving the power. He doesn't distinguish between anything. But he has been given the power, and he has been asked to keep the person and give the life force to be in the body, and he does it selflessly 24 by 7. That is, because what it shows, because when you have a devotion, the selfless devotion, who is the highest in this world? It is the Vayu. Otherwise, that is what, because what we call prana is nothing but Vayu. Vayu is, what we are breathing is not the Vayu what is being referred to here. What we are breathing is Pravaha Vayu, which is considered, which is coming as the element in the Prakriti, Pravaha Vayu. And another one is there is some called Nasika Vayu. Nasika Vayu is got a specific function. The Pravaha Vayu is the one which we are breathing. But the Vayu is the one, who has got which you are not able to see, distributing the energy, the keep and enabling, the recreation of the cell bacteria and keeping you going. That is why he does it irrespective of the fact, even you may be a mighty monarch, or you are a peevish beggar, or you may be a rogue number one, or you may be doing all sort of unwanted thing, irrespective of the fact, once it has been ordained that you have to be in this world and experience, he does it selflessly. He doesn't differentiate between a saint or a sinner. He does it to everyone because he has been, because God has brought us everyone deserve based on whatever we deserve, and he has activated. He gives the energy. He doesn't discriminate. He gives the same energy. But then, are you able to use the energy and to be here? And who is doing it? The selfless Vayu. The selflessness of Vayu is so sort of a highest in this world. That is why it is called Vayu Jivottama. All the selfless devotion, because whoever has done in this world, because you can take, he is the highest number one, he is the sort of a child. Finally, he, whatever you are thinking, whatever you are doing, upasana, whatever you are offering, whatever selfless service you are doing, everything, who takes it? He is the servant of the God. Finally, Matarishva Madayati, he is the one who takes and offer. Your offerings are being done through Vayu to the ultimate Brahman. He is the one who submits, and he is the one who also gets whatever you are supposed to be getting, whatever you are deserving. How it happens? Because as the life energy goes, your thoughts, the superlative thoughts comes to you, your nobility of the thoughts goes to you, and once you are noble and your ability goes to the highest level, once your ability goes to the higher level, your capability of doing the good things and be a part of the wonderful world goes several layers above that. The nobility of the Vayu and the ability of the entire, because the soul to get it, and finally the capability of this Ekadasha Dwaram, because the city with Ekadasha Dwaram is able to get the capability of the doing everything. This is a process. This has been brought out so beautifully in this Upanishad. And finally, it has also done because when prana is so important, but then he also has to get the power. Vamanam Asitam. Vayur Anilam Adetam. Anilam in the sense Nilaya, who is resident in Vayu and give the power. That is Vamanam. So when the first breath comes, the life force which comes through Sahasrara, because he's resident in Vayu, and the Pravaha Vayu through that, because you get all the energy and all till such time we are ordained to be in this bird. Finally, we get into that. So that is why, because when we think, when we are doing and all, it's not that, we are the doers. Naham Karta, Hari Karta in the sense, finally he gets it done. This is exactly, brought about this mantra, irrespective of the fact, because whatever, we whatever philosophical stream we may be, this is has been accepted by the scriptures, Upanishad, and all the masters. So even because assuming even the Pravaha Vayu as an element, because it is it is a qualitative, it has to be there. Because if the Vayu is not there, you will not be able to live in some other planets because there is no Pravaha Vayu. But then, when the planets are operating, because when there is a phenomena has to take place, they also need Vayu. That Vayu is different. That is ultimate Vayu. He gives the power there. And it's not only give the power within and without. Finally, what that is why the Vedas have referred even the Brahman in some of the verses as prana. The prana denotes a wide spectrum, because like dharma is denoting so many things, and prana also denotes only the highest noble, the one which is creative power and which is also enabling everyone to get the things done. And here the Vayu takes the primal position because he is doing so selfless service. He doesn't stop anywhere. He does it, till the last moment, he has to do. It is he. There is no sort of a sort of rest for him. That is why, because the some of the philosophies like Vaita calls it Vayu Jivatama. It's also being taken at the highest position in all other philosophies. And the master and subject, has been brought out so creatively, because he is the first subject of the master. That is why Jivottama is called. He is the selfless devotion, is the first subject of the Brahman, the master. That is why he is called Vayu Jivottama. Hari Sarvottama, because that is otherwise being called, in the philosophies and all. The rest of the philosophy, because in others, in all other philosophies also, extol Vayu, and they say, look, because you have to be important, you have to be selfless. You have to take the selflessness from Vayu. The only element that can give you the selfless devotion is Vayu. So this has been brought about very beautifully, and there is also the next mantra we will see, which is also highlighting Asya Vistaram Samanasya, as this gets loosened or detached. Sharirastasya Dehinaha, the embodied self, the indweller of the body. Dehat Vimucha Manasya, get freed from the body. Kim Matra Parisishyate, what then remains there? This is verily that. So now we have seen, as long as prana is there, the life force is there, the body is here. And when the time comes, Vayuranilam Matetam Pasmantam Sariram. So once it leaves, only the body is there because it is only to be here to perish and all. So here, as the life force gets detached, the body consciousness, and as the life force gets detached in the sense as the breathing stops, the Vayu obeys his master and because the time has come. And then what happens? Because Vistaram is sense taking some sort of a rest. Because this body, now has got, because this one, so the Vayu takes rest only at that point of time, finally when he leaves the body. Samanasya. So when it is all being balanced, because looks and detached, it doesn't do anything, it goes off. So when it goes off, when the life force goes off, even the Vamanam Asitam, he also goes with the Vayu, but where is he there? He is in the Sushma Sharira. He is, because he is the one who is giving life force as long as the body is activated. Once the Ekadashapuram, the city in which you are resident, once it is there, and you are being taken care of in the form of Sushma Sharira, the subtle body. The subtle body, what is subtle body? Your knowledge, chitta, mana, buddhi, ahankara, what we talk about. Ahankara goes up, because you don't have the body to claim that I am so and so and all. And when then, because the chitta, mana, buddhi, because whatever you accumulated, that all the sort of, whatever embodied into your mind, whatever has been taken in, because the treasure trove in your chitta, they all remain. They are being taken care of. But because till such time you have that remnants of, because the thoughts, unfulfilled ambitions, even if you have given up everything and all, still you have got some bit of a ego. You have you are a scholar, but you want to be known as a better scholar. You are someone higher, but still you want to see something like that. When all that happens, when you are able to give up everything and all, the total devotion, surrender, saranagati, once you have it, till then you are under the control of that Vamanam, Asitam, and Sushma Sarira. So it is Stula Sarira goes off and Sushma Sarira still. Here, what is that? Because the same question has been asked. He is asking, Asya Vistaram Samanasya. Once, because as this gets loosened and detached, Sharira Stasya Dehinaha. See, once the embodied self, the life power, because the indweller of the body, the Vamana Masitam, what we have called, Dehat Vimucha Manasis, gets freedom from the body. Freedom from the body in the sense, it gets freedom from the body, but it is in the Sushma Sarira. That is, because that is one way of looking at it. Kim Matra Parisishyate, what remains there? The third question of Nachiketa, we have to get ourselves reminded. He said, what remains after because who controls? There are two ways of what remains after the life force leaves the body, or after the life force leaves the body, who controls the soul? Because there are two, but there is no objection to both the sort of interpretation. The interpretations, none of the acharyas, but both streams are saying that. The one of the streams, because the Advaita streams and all, they say what remains is nothing. So only the body is there, only your, the chitta, buddhi, ahankara and all, whatever your unfulfilled ambition, they are there, they are all there. But then, because once you automatically take the birth, because that unfulfilled ambitions are there. Whereas in the other, the theistic, your Sushma Sarira is controlled by the the life force, that is Vamanam Asitam. You don't have life breathe, but the life force who was given the energy to the prana, he still controls. And in that also, because if you are having an occasion, because if you are able to do the upasana, because you can still do upasana, and therefore depending upon your capability of the upasana, there are levels, various levels are there that has been described in Shastras. That is why, because the Taratamya concept has been brought out even after the body has gone. That is a sort of a distinction, depending upon the devotion and the selflessness and the nobility, what is there. Whereas once in the other streams, where they say once your entire, the remnants of unfulfilled ambition and all goes out, then nothing, that's all, you just become the part of the self. You become the sort of a same, your upadhi was, because you are being veiled, because thinking that you are the human being, you are the ego, and you got family, and you got friends and all. These are all sort of a maya matram, they are all maya. The maya has put a veil onto that. The veil goes off once you understand that you are not you are not, having the same separate entity other than the original Parabrahman, when the self only has come into you. For that, the first feeling is you have to feel there is no other, because you are everywhere and all. You are, in fact, I am not disclosing, or I am not telling anything, you are not listening. All of us are same, because if you apply the technically the Advaita concept, we are all same. Only thing is, because just, I have been ordained, to tell, whatever I have understood. However, because deficient it may be. However, sort of, because it may not be, it will never be complete, because it is it has to go through, it's a work in progress. Maybe, several thousands of, several crores of birth, it may still have to go. But I am telling, because then you are having an ear to that, because thinking, this may, because give some sort of input in transforming ourselves, the attitude. So therefore, it is some sort of, that is why, they call shata vichakshana, because there is one technical terms of it. That is, it is a empirical, it is a sort of a temporary, illusion. It's not exactly illusion. It is a sort of ephemeral, it will go off something like that. Whereas the reality of, because what we are discussing, once you take that reality into account, then because it is real. After all, every experience, what we are in. Because, your reality can't be explained by my experience. My reality can't be explained by your experience, because you have got a wealth of experience. You have undergone so many things, trials and tribulations. Yours may be, because much of a very, very different quality, but mine may be different, because both can't be explained. It is fair at that point of time. We will have to take, once it is there, it is, because that Sushma Sarira, it is still under control till such time, because it is finding its way to give up, because all that finally it is only the pure devotion when it remains. Surrender that comes. Till such time you go on. The other one, till such time you don't have any unfulfilled thoughts, still you have got an ego of everything and all. So you remain there. And there, once the knowledge, because that ego goes off everything and all, you get the mukti there itself. Whereas in the theistic, you get the mukti once even of the Sushma Sarira is there. Once you are able to do, because upasana in that also, because when you are able to slowly give up, once you are able to give your devotion sort of a several layers of, because where you can go up. In Bhagavatam, it has been described beautifully, because what are all those layers of upasana. So in Narada has also explained it beautifully, because in Bhagavatam also his words are coming. The Bhagavatam explains the different levels of devotions before surrender, and that has been taken care of. So it is only for the philosophical aspect. Some and substance of what we have discussed today here is It is as long as, because we are having, the life force into us, we will have to have the nobility come into us by only with the love. Love